neck should now look something like this, and it's time to glue the headstock veneer. But first we have to thickness that to about 2 millimeters or 5/64 of an inch, and then we can glue that to the headstock. Okay, so the neck is ready for the headstock veneer. I have a piece of rosewood here that I'm going to use. I've CNC'd my logo out of the headstock and veneer, and also out of a piece of mother of pearl. And the difference between the two is, I think, 1/10 of a millimeter. So that's going to fit in there really tight with just a drop of black or brownish super glue. I'm going to need a little hole there, or a slot, to be able to reach the truss rod later. So I've measured from the back of the nut. I'll need from 10 to 30 millimeters to stick the hex key through. So I've indicated that here, and I'm going to route that out in a minute. I want to fill a piece of mahogany to fill up this space here, so that the fretboard is supported everywhere. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, if you don't have a CNC router or no access to one, then you'll have to do it with a fret saw, which works fine. So it just takes a little bit more time, but it's a fun job to do anyway. But this is much more accurate, of course. With the headstock veneer glued to the headstock, it's now 21 millimeters approximately thick. So that's about 7/8 of an inch, a bit under. And we want to bring that down to 13 to 15 millimeters, so half an inch to 5/8. That depends on the stiffness you require for your headstock and looks, of course, and have a look before you thickness it at the range of your tuners. So you don't want the headstock to be too thick or too thin for the tuners you're using. I'm going to use a safety planer to do that, and I've set it so that it takes off half a millimeter to a millimeter at each pass. So. Okay, I'm down to 14 point something now, so a bit under 5/8, and I've left just a bit of material here. So I didn't do the whole headstock, but just left just a bit of material so I can make a nice transition later from the neck to the headstock. I've drawn the outline of the headstock onto the veneer with a template, and I'm going to cut it out with a bandsaw, and then I'm going to sand it exactly to shape. You can route it to shape, but I've had a couple of nasty accidents wood-wise with routers, so I don't use those anymore. I do it with a sander, and I'll show you that in a minute, and it's just as fast and accurate too. So. Cut the neck at the 14th thread plus 19 millimeters or 3/4 of an inch for the dovetail that we're going to use later, and then we glued the heel block to the back of the neck, and now I've marked a line here 4 degrees relative to this surface here, and I'm going to true and flatten this side. I'll be using a belt sander to do that, and then we can route the dovetail joint.